What is up, my friends? So let's get ready to get back into the Texas Chainsaw Massacre groove of things. Now, I just recently watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974, Tobe Hooper's version, and I must have mispronounced that wrong, and somebody's going to correct me in the comments, and to you I say thanks. But no, this is going to be the first movie we've got in a while for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and this one has been kind of in limbo for a bit. There was the whole, one was made and then it wasn't great. They started from scratch and all of this, and now Netflix is picking it up and releasing it February 2022, my friends. And as I said in my Scream video, 2022 is proving to be such a year, right, for horror. But no, let's get into what this one is going to deal with. So I checked out the original one in 74, and I realized just how great of a movie it really is, and it still holds up to this day. Pretty much a movie that fucks with you a lot. So Fede Alvarez is behind this. I don't think he's directing or writing it, but I do believe he is guiding it. And he had this to say about working on the film with also his writing partner Rodo Sayegüez. He said, "Me and Rodo really want to make sure we don't disappoint the fans, and we are among them, so it's pretty hardcore, but at the same time, it has the simplicity of that first film. We wanted that to come up with a very simple premise with a powerful domino effect. Everything is set up in the right place. All you have to do is push the first domino, and everything will happen effortlessly." And so we talked about this recently in a short I did, because I was talking about how this short... I was talking in the short, not a short film, but I was talking about in the YouTube short I made about the clips. Well, not clips, they were pictures. I'm just all over the place today, sorry y'all. But I was talking about the pictures that were released that looked great. And I was very much so excited about this new look, because I think we've gotten so much of that dusty aesthetic from the previous Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies that I think it was great to change the pace. And this looks very promising, being a small town. It sort of gives me some European vibes to it as well, which I think are pretty interesting. But this is going to be directed by David Blue Garcia, written by Chris Thomas Devlin, and it's also going to be starring Sarah Yarkin, Elsie Fisher, Noah Hudson, and Jacob Lattimore as a group of friends who make the mistake of traveling too far away from the big city. And pretty much this is going to deal with a lot of things that come up in today's societal talk, with gentrification, hipsters, and just what happens to small towns as well, and things like that. So this is what Yarkin had to say about this. "Me and my business partner, who is played by Lattimore Dante, are these young hip people that come to this ghost town in Texas and try to get other people to come there and make it the next hip place to be. Our fatal flaw is that we ignore the history that came before us." And I think that's something that's very interesting here. It says the film takes place a long time after the original Texas Chainsaw, and so it's about a group of people who come to this town and things don't quite go as planned. It mixes a lot of important real life issues with horror themes, which is always something I love, and I agree with that. I think that horror definitely always has to be telling a story about the social level that we are at the time, and I think this is an important one to tell here. And yes, as you heard, it takes place right after the original Texas Chainsaw, which is going to ignore anything that happened after the 1974 film. So Texas Chainsaw 2, Texas Chainsaw 3, all those are no longer in play here. This is a sequel to the original 74, so we're going to have a Bubba that's pretty much in his 70s, I feel, late 60s if not. And I think that's going to be interesting to see. Something we haven't seen before is an older Bubba who's going to be here to pretty much set things straight here. Alvarez also had this to say: "I think the first movie really hit a nerve when portraying that culture clash between the countryside and the city. Back in the 70s, the hippies were representing the youth of the city. This time they're more like millennial hipsters from Austin who are very entrepreneurial and have a dream of getting away from the city and back to the countrysides. They're trying to gentrify small town America, and let's just say they encounter some pushback, when that pushback is in the form of leatherface, of course." And this is more of what he had to say as well. "It's basically the same character who is still alive. He's talking here about Leatherface. Our takes on it was this guy probably disappeared after everything he's done. You know, how do you catch a guy who has a mask? Once he removes the mask and runs away, it's very easy for him to hide somewhere, which is terrifying in my opinion. The story will pick it up many years after the original story. He's been hiding for a long, long time, trying to be a good person. These people arriving in this town are going to awaken the giant. We have Mark Burnham, who is going to be playing Leatherface here, which is interesting as well. And very much so one that is going to have to replace Gunnar Hansen, which was something that Alvarez said was quite a search to try and find someone to do that. And I'm excited. I think that this is going to be a film that really is going to, I think, be a defining moment for this character, because I do believe that even though the movies that we've gotten recently for Leatherface and all of that have been appreciated by a niche audience and all that, I still feel at a massive level he is very much so always pushed to the side. And I think characters such as Michael Myers recently getting a revival, we saw Chucky with the show, which I think is the strongest one out of all of the revivals we've gone in. We're about to get Ghostface with Scream in January, so I think Leatherface really, this is their moment to shine, or for them to be like, yeah, nobody really wants this character anymore. So a very decisive movie, definitely. I am a bit hesitant, I feel, with Netflix having reins on this, because Netflix for the most part is either make it or break it. There's no in between. Like, they're either going to make something good or they're just going to make something that's crap, and I'm so scared of that, because I think this character really is on its final, like, this is it, make it or break it, because I think that out of all the horror legends, it is the one that's never really been done properly besides the original. So very interesting to see how it's going to play out. But you let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. I think for the most part, the themes and everything they're trying to discuss in this are definitely something that might make this movie feel much better than we've gotten in the past. So that's the only thing that's sort of like keeping me at ease and feeling like they might get it right. But other than that, I don't see much more hope if they don't get it right. So we'll see. As always, that is going to do it for me. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre revitalization that Netflix is trying to accomplish here. Are you going to watch it or not? What do you think of the new pictures we've gotten already? Are you excited, or does this just smell like something that's going to definitely fail and just flop on its own? Let me know. As always, check out my video on the left if you haven't already. Make sure you're subscribed. Like, comment, share, all that good stuff. We are on the road to 20,000 subscribers. Less than 50 away. We can get there before tomorrow, I feel. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you are also giving it a thumbs up and letting me know your opinions down below about this movie. I'll see all of you next time. As always, my friends, stay safe, stay positive.